on Sports Central tonight. Pakistan Tour. The Sri Lanka-Pakistan T20I series is all set to get underway in Dambulla tomorrow evening with Dasun Shanaka and Salman Ali Agha leading their respective sides. 2 tons. After Travis Head's sensational innings reaching the 150-run mark, home team captain Steve Smith takes on the anchor role, scoring another century for Australia to dominate the third day of the final test.
A 5th ton here, a 13th in the Ashes, a 37th in his career.
Manager fired. Manchester United confirms that the club has fired manager Ruben Amorim after a rollercoaster spell at the Premier League giant after the club higher-ups decide it's time for a change. An historical prize. The prize fund for this year's Australian Open has been increased by 16% to 111.5 million Australian dollars, making it the largest purse in the tournament's history.
From Studio 24C, this is Sports Central. And now, here's Renut Varnasurya.
Hello and welcome to Sports Central right here on Other Derana News Channel, your go-to source to get updated about everything in sports right here at home and around the globe. We start off today's bulletin with updates coming in from the Pakistan Tour of Sri Lanka. The first T20 international between Sri Lanka and Pakistan will get underway in Dambulla tomorrow evening. Sri Lanka team is led by Dasun Shanaka while the Pakistan team is led by Salman Ali Agha. The 3-match T20I series between Sri Lanka and Pakistan has been viewed as a way to fine-tune preparations ahead of the T20 World Cup to be played in February to March in India and Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka cricket selectors headed by Pramodya Wickramasinghe has named an 18-member squad for this series. 21-year-old Shavin Matthew is the only uncapped player in the squad and he joins Mahesh Theekshana, Dunith Wellalage, Dushan Hemantha and Wanithu Hasaranga as spin options in the squad. Test keeper Dhananjaya De Silva has been named in the T20I side after an 18 months absence and is expected to strengthen the top order batting and his off-spin will be a handy option too. Meanwhile, the Pakistan squad arrived in the island last evening. Wicketkeeper batter Khawaja Nafi is the only uncapped player in the 15-member squad. The Pakistan squad for the T20I series against Sri Lanka will be Salman Ali Agha, Abdul Samad, Abrar Ahmed, Fahim Ashraf, Faqa Saman, Khawaja Nafi, Mohammad Nawaz, Salman Mirza, Mohammad Wasim, Nasim Shah, Sahib Sada Farhan, Saim Ayub, Shadab Khan, Usman Khan and Usman Tariq. St. Peter's College recorded their first innings win over Royal College Colombo in the Inter-School Division 1 Tier A cricket encounter in Bambalapitiya today. The Centurion Asadisa De Silva was the hero of the Pete Rides and he was well supported by Joshua Sebastian and Savindu Silva. St. Peter's College Bambalapitiya, who began second day's play on 54 with the loss of 2 wickets overnight, scored 361 runs for 6 wickets in their quota of 80 overs. Asadisa De Silva top scored with 134 runs, which included 11 fours and 3 maximums. Joshua Sebastian scored 93 runs, while Samindu Silva also made 53 runs. Sehandu Suryarachi was the pick of the bowlers for Royal College with 3 wickets for 50 runs. When the stumps were drawn in the second and final day this evening, the Royalists were on 71 for no loss in their second innings. They made 347 all out in their first innings yesterday. Skipper Rehan Pires was the top scorer with 126 runs. Trials are underway these days to select the Sri Lankan contingent for the upcoming 12th Asian Indo Athletics Championship to be held in China next month. The trials are being held at the Diyagama Mahinda Rajapaksa Stadium and Sugatadasa Stadium in Colombo. The 12th Asian Indo Athletics Championship is scheduled to be held in Tianjin, China. This event is one of the major indoor track and field events to be held in the region. It will be held from the 6th of February to the 8th and the selection trials in high jump and triple jump were held at the Diyagama Mahinda Rajapaksa Stadium in Homagama. Meanwhile, the selection trials for running events, short put and discus throw were held at the Sugatadasa Stadium in Colombo. Our correspondent said that there was tight competition in the men's and women's 400 meters, 800 meters, 1500 meters and 3000 meter events. Moving to football now, several matches of the Interclub Champions League football tournament got underway in Colombo over the weekend. The matches were played at the Racecourse Stadium at Reed Avenue. Sri Lanka Football has organised this tournament. New Star Sports Club, the table leader in the Group A, to Crystal Palace SC at the Racecourse Stadium. The winners led 1-0 at half-time. They intensified the attacking style of play in the second half, scoring 5 more goals. At the final whistle, New Star Sports Club were leading 6-0. This was their 4th successive win in 4 matches. Meanwhile, in another Group A match, Serendip Sports Club defeated Negombo Youth 1-0 following a close game. Both teams failed to score in the first half, and at the breather, the score was 0-0. With this win, Serendip moved up to the second with 9 points from 4 games. Saunders Sports Club is placed third with the 7 points from 3 matches. Pelican Sports Club Kurunegala climbed to the top of the Group B points table, defeating Police Sports Club 1-0 in their Group B clash on Sunday. The Kurunegala men scored the deciding goal in the first half, which proved to be decisive to seal a hard-fought win. With this win, Pelican Sports Club moved to the top of the Group B standings with 7 points from 3 matches. They have recorded 2 wins and 1 defeat. Meanwhile, Police Sports Club slipped to the second place with 6 points from 4 matches. Let's head into a short commercial break from Ada Derana Sports Center. We'll return with more sporting action right after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Central right here on Ada Derana News Channel. We are moving to Sydney where the final Ashes test is underway. Travis Head departed at the SCG field to a thunderous ovation after his latest demolition of England in this Ashes series. But the roars from the terraces soon deafened when Usman Khawaja walked to the crease in his final test match.
At the Sydney Cricket Ground, and yes, it turns pink today for a wonderful occasion. Both sides, you could see how eager they were to get out and pass on those baggy pinks.
It did not take much time for Travis Head on day 3 to reach another century in his test career.
The legend of Travis Head goes to a higher plane. His 12th test match century, his 3rd in the series, his 1st at this famous ground. And the man with a cult-like following continues to give the fans what they want.
He went on to score around the park at Sydney with Michael Neser safely holding his wicket on the other end. However, England lost a chance when Head was dropped on 121 by Will Jacks.
Straight. Oh no, it's Will Jacks. An easy one. The tactic nearly worked straight away.
Michael Neser then showed the audience some classy shots before he was dismissed by Braden Carse on 24.
Beautiful, stylish, elegant.
There's the edge. He finally went full Braden Carse. He gets rewarded.
Travis Head was unstoppable as he reached the 150-run mark with sensational batting.
Oh. Well, oh my word. Have some of that, says Travis Head. As he goes up and over for 150, Travis Head. You cannot stop him. What a player.
It was Jacob Bethel who captured the big wicket of Travis Head when he was on 163 runs off 166 deliveries.
Travis Head, a born entertainer, has done it once again, this time in Sydney. And here comes Usman.
In what might prove to be his final test innings, Khawaja fell for 17 in an ungainly dismissal, a low full toss from Braden Carse, and left the ground to more hearty applause.
Toss! Khawaja can't believe it. He's gone straight upstairs.
Impact in line, wicket sitting.
You may see him in the second innings, but you never know with this game of cricket. So we'll watch Usman Khawaja wander off the SCG.
Skipper Stephen Smith then stole the show for the remainder of the day 3 with an unbeaten 129 off 205 bowls to put Australia in a commanding position as they seek a convincing 4-1 series victory. Smith led Australia dominating day 3 entirely with the home team remaining 518 runs with 7 wickets down.
He gets it fine. He'll come back for 2. Big Bo Webster will charge back to help out his captain. Steve Smith continues his love affair with the SCG. A 5th ton here, a 13th in the Ashes, a 37th in his career. He loves the SCG and the SCG loves Steve.
Skipper Smith remained not out on 129 runs while a solid supporting innings of Bew Webster also was still alive. He was on 42 runs off 58 balls when the stumps were drawn on day 3, and Australia led by 134 runs advanced into the 4th day of the final test.
Away from him, the lead at 134, and a nice sign of respect from the English, and he's been absolutely fantastic on the ground that he loves as much as any.
Not normally the one that's sort of doing the heavy lifting as such, and the likes of Martin and Smudge over the last period of time have been the heavy lifters and the guys that have really driven games, and Davey in the past and Uz, so been very lucky to bat around those guys, so nice to be able to pull my finger out and help them out on the other side. And but yeah, I wouldn't have come in the series thinking that I would have liked to have thought I was good enough to be able to do something, have a series like I have, but yeah, to go out and do it and be as consistent I have been is very pleasing. I normally put the chair on top and come in the back end, so yeah, nice to contribute the way I have in a series like this. So
yeah, it was a tough day, but you know that's what it's about. We got to come out tomorrow, take those 3 wickets early, and get batting again. But yeah, longer than the MCG. Everyone's still very driven to leave Australia 3-2. So I think that's the main thing that's keeping everyone fighting hard. Obviously, any Ashes Test match, you want to go out there and put your best foot forward. You mentioned the drop catches. I don't think anyone means to drop catches, and we've just kind of had to pick those boys up and help them along for a bit. And yeah, the boys are feeling fine, I think.
Moving to the Big Bash League now, Sydney Sixers went 4th on the BBL ladder after prevailing in a low-scoring thriller by 3 wickets against Brisbane Heat in Coffs Harbour. It should have been a cakewalk for the Sixers, but Heat have shown this season that they are never beaten. Brisbane Heat lost regular wickets back-to-back since the start, with 3 of them falling inside the power play.
Been the star so far, but he's bowled! Stumps everywhere, middle stump has disappeared. Sean Abbott picks that one up so easily, but hit it to exactly the wrong spot. Not as a batsman. Oh, that's out. Hughes snaffles the catch.
Then by the 12th over, they were on 72 runs, losing 6 wickets.
The edge is fine, straight through to Philippi. 2. Short again, he's got hold of that better, and away it goes, clears the road.
It was a combined effort by the Sydney Sixers bowlers, as each bowler picked up a wicket to dismantle the Heat top order. Only Jack Wildermuth's 31 runs and Hugh Wiegman's 24 runs were the only 2 scores that passed the 20-run mark. With the disaster continuing, Brisbane Heat slumped to 9 wickets on 91 runs at the end of the 16th over. At last, Ollie Patterson and Thomas Balkin carried the innings till the end, but Brisbane Heat could only gather 114 runs in their allotted 120 balls.
He beats mid-off on the inner ring and he gets it all the way to the boundary. With the bat in hand. Patterson's couldn't swing harder. Down the ground again, not quite out of the middle. And Edwards is the busiest man at the moment from a fielding point of view. Is once again able to cut off the boundary, and they'll have to make do with 8 off the final over. Gets them to 9 for 114.
The chase was not so far different, as Heat had Sixers 56 for 7 in their 11th over, and at that point appeared on track to break the record set by Perth's coaches in 2013-14 season against Melbourne Renegades when they defended 117 for 7. Heat's 20-year-old rookie Ollie Patterson picked up Babar Azam and Josh Philippe the consecutive deliveries in his first over.
Pick up a big wicket. Widekin gobbles up the catch.
Sixers were well contained by Heat bowlers and slumped to 47 for 5 in the 9th over when Matt Kuhneman dismissed Jordan Silk and Jack Edwards in consecutive deliveries.
Silk, who went for the big one, and over Kuhneman. And Edwards answers and he's taken down low. Oh, that's straight back to the bowler. Renshaw takes the catch.
But when 7 wickets were down, Joel Davies and Hayden Kerr then combined for a composed and crucial unbroken 62-run stand in just 49 deliveries for the 8th wicket. The run chase was chaotic and thrilling before Kerr hit a massive 6 to win it with 8 balls to spare.
And the Sixers get there in a hole at 7 for 56. Joel Davies and Hayden Kerr have taken them to safe harbour in Coffs Harbour.
Manchester United confirmed yesterday that the club has fired manager Ruben Amorim after a rollercoaster spell at the Premier League giant. A club statement said the Red Devils hierarchy reluctantly made the decision that it is right time to make a change.
The statement further mentioned that this will give the team the best opportunity of the highest possible Premier League finish, and the club would like to thank Ruben for his contribution to the club and wishes him well for the future. Amorim was tasked with rebuilding the team when he took over in November 2024, but has struggled to find consistency over his 14-month in charge. Amorim was announced as the new first-team head coach following the sacking of Erik ten Hag. He took over partway through the last season and promised to implement his distinct style of play on the team, something that many thought a rudderless Manchester United needed. But progress was slow at the beginning, with Amorim telling fans that things would get worse before getting better. There were hopes that there would be a marked improvement this season, with Amorim having an entire pre-season to coach and mold the team. But despite signs of development, results continued to disappoint. The club currently sits sixth in the Premier League after another uninspiring draw against Leeds United on Sunday. There were clear tensions building behind the scenes at Old Trafford, with Amorim hinting on Sunday that he was unhappy with interference from the club's leadership. Amorim said he had made it clear that he would take on the role of a manager rather than just a coach, stressing that the arrangement was set to run for 18 months, after which all parties would move on, as that was the agreed deal and his responsibility.
Heading into a short break now, we will return with more sporting highlights right after this. You're watching Sports Central right here on Other Derana News Channel. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Central right here on Other Derana News Channel. We have some tennis updates lined up for you now. The prize fund for this year's Australian Open has been increased by 16% to 111.5 million Australian dollars, making it the largest purse in the tournament's history. The organisers announced this today.
The two singles champions will each pocket 4.15 million Australian dollars, up from the 3.5 million Australian dollars which Yannick Sinner and Madison Keys took home last year. Tennis Australia CEO Craig Tiley said that this 16% increase demonstrates our commitment to supporting tennis careers at every level. From boosting qualifying prize money by 55% since 2023 to enhancing player benefits, they're ensuring professional tennis is sustainable for all competitors. The US offered the largest prize fund of the Grand Slams last year with $90 million, while Wimbledon offered a total of £53.5 million and the French Open €56.35 million. First round losers at the Australian Open will walk away with 150,000 Australian dollars, a hike of 14% from 2025, while the qualifying rounds will see the largest hike of 16%. Those falling in third round of qualifying will earn 83,500 Australian dollars. The prize money increase is part of Tennis Australia's $135 million investment across the summer of tennis, which Tiley said strengthens the tennis foundation, ensuring the sport's long-term health and commercial growth. The Australian Open runs from January 18 to February 1st at Melbourne Park.
Meanwhile, Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from next week's Australian Open warm-up tournament in Adelaide to focus on being ready for this year's first Grand Slam at Melbourne Park. The 24-time major champion, who won the Adelaide International in 2023, made the announcement in a statement on social media. The 38-year-old Serbian said to all his fans in Adelaide, unfortunately, he is not quite physically ready to compete in the Adelaide International next week. The player said it was personally very disappointing given the fond memories of winning the title there, adding that the focus had now shifted to preparations for the Australian Open and that they were looking forward to arriving in Melbourne soon and seeing the tennis fans in Australia. Djokovic will be bidding for an 11th Australian Open crown and record 25th Grand Slam title at Melbourne Park. The tournament runs from the 18th of this month to the 1st of February. Meanwhile, world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka made a strong start to the 2026 WTA season, dispatching Spain's Cristina Buxa in under 50 minutes to reach the second round of the Brisbane WTA 500 tournament today. The Belarusian, who is on the top seed in the event, powered the victory with a trademark aggressive baseline play combined with her net approaches, clinching a dominant 6-1 6-love win.
games to love. Game center match, 7-8. Two sets to love. 6-love, 6-love.
Earlier reigning Australia Open champion Madison Keys also enjoyed a victorious start to her campaign, defeating fellow American McCartney Kessler 6-4 and 6-3 in straight sets. The Brisbane WTA 500 marks the official opening of the 2026 tennis season, with several big names in action as players fine-tune their form ahead of the Australian Open, which begins later this month. Former heavyweight world champion Tyson Fury has announced he will return to boxing this year, bringing an end to his latest spell of retirement. The 37-year-old Briton last fought in December 2024 when he was beaten for a second time by unified champion Alexander Usyk in their heavyweight rematch. Fury confirmed his retirement a month later. Speculation over a comeback had grown in recent weeks after Fury shared footage of himself training in Thailand alongside South African boxer Kevin Derana. Fury announced this via an Instagram post during the weekend. Fury's return to the ring was widely expected. His most recent retirement was met with skepticism last year, given his history of reversals. He previously stepped away from boxing after stopping Dillian Whyte at Wembley Stadium in April 2022, only to return 6 months later. Queensbury promoter Frank Warren said he expected Fury to fight again. Saudi Arabia power broker Turki Al Sheikh had reportedly planned for Fury, a long-time rival Anthony Joshua, to take separate bouts in the kingdom early in 2026 before finally meeting later in the year. Joshua fueled that possibility after defeating Jake Paul in December, saying he was ready to face Fury next. Fury enjoyed 2 reigns as heavyweight champion and boasts a professional record of 34 wins, 2 defeats both against Usyk and 1 draw. And with that, we mark the end of today's bulletin right here on Other Derana Sports Central. Well, we value your feedback, so don't forget to send it via email at feedback.atncenglish@derana.lk or via WhatsApp at 076-805-7933. I'm Asha Fernando will join you next on World News Tonight. With that, I'm Vinod Varnasuri wishing you a very good night.